I've cleaned a whole lot of stuff out of my computer, so I'm hoping this problem with stalling midstream works, it's gone. Okay. Although I do have an appointment to take my computer in this week to get more memory added. I've never had this problem before, but anyway, be that as it may. Essays, again, very good. I wrote some comments in the lesson about essays, and please everybody read those, and also in the assignment, please everybody read that stuff because not everybody's essay is doing what it should be doing, and also on comments on essays, there are 3 people who don't think it's worth their time to write comments, and of course that will negatively impact their grades, so they better get on the stick and start to do what the rest of the people in the class are doing. As of the comments you're writing, this week they were terrific. So many of you were willing to say, I don't think so, or I look at it differently. I like your interpretation, but here's what I thought. I thought that was really cool. That's how we get discussion going. We all learn more from that. So be willing to continue to do that kind of thing. This week I am sitting out in the eating area off our kitchen. It's just a bright room, so I thought this might be a nice place to try to make our video. We're talking this week about the concept of the narrator, and I did a lot of explaining about it in the lesson. But what I want to make sure you understand completely is that the person who tells you the story, the person that you seem to hear the story coming from, that is not the voice of the author, okay? The author and the narrator are 2 different things. The author creates a narrator. The narrator tells you the story. So as you are reading, you are hearing a narrator. You are not hearing an author speak to you, okay? Even when you get a brilliant, brilliant author like Edgar Allan Poe, as you do this week, Edgar Allan Poe has created a narrator in that story for you, okay? So you are not hearing the voice of Edgar Allan Poe coming through there. You are hearing the voice of a narrator. Every story that's written, every piece of fiction, the author creates a narrator, and the narrator tells you the story. So don't be confused with that. William Faulkner did not tell us the story of A Rose for Emily, okay? That wasn't Faulkner. Faulkner wrote the story, but he created a narrator who was one of the townspeople. And that narrator told us the story from the point of view of from the point of view of all the people in the town, okay? But it wasn't Faulkner. It was a narrator that he created. And so we get that voice from all the people in the town. Okay, so as you read, make sure you understand that. Make sure that you are listening to a narrator. Now, I gave you different kinds of narrators in there. Okay, we talked about a third-person narrator, and a third-person narrator is a narrator who is not part of the story at all. Rather, the third-person narrator is kind of an observer from the outside who's watching all of this stuff happen and telling you about it. Kind of like, okay, if you watch a football game or a baseball game on television, you get announcers who tell you about the action in the story. The announcers aren't playing the game, okay? They aren't playing the game. They're telling you about what's going on. That's what a third-person narrator does. They're not actively involved in the story. On the other hand, we have first-person narrators, and I broke down into a bunch of different subsets what first-person narrators can do. We can get a first-person narrator who knows everything that's going on, and that kind of first-person narrator is called omniscient. They know it all. They're like omniscient, all-knowing. Omnis is the Latin word for all. Scio is the Latin word for to know. So an omniscient narrator and an omniscient first-person narrator just knows it all, okay? But we get some first-person narrators who don't know everything. If you look at A Rose for Emily, that narrator did not know everything, okay? The people in the town didn't really know what was going on with Emily. We, as readers, didn't know what was going on with Emily. That story is told from a first-person point of view. We, the townspeople, we were observing this about Emily. So that was a first-person story, okay? That story could have been a very different kind of first-person story if we got it from the point of view of I. If Miss Emily was actually telling us the story, then the story would have been something very different, okay? So look through the different kinds of narrators that we have that I've spelled out to you in the lesson, and then see how they apply to the works that we're talking about this week. And then again, as you write your essays, be willing to bring in any personal experiences if that helps you make your point, okay? Have a good week.